Hi, this is a review on the Cobra HT62C, and it's a hedge trimmer. I've had this one for a few years, so before I go into details about the rest of it, as you can see, the blade has been well used and it's got a good spacing between it. I think looking at it from here, it's probably about 15 or 16 millimeters. It's got a good space. Excellent for cutting saplings and small branches quite well, and it's significantly powerful enough to do a lot of work around the garden, which I've been doing for some years now. Basically it's a two-stroke, so obviously no oil to be messing around with. It's a 1 in 40 mix, so one of obviously of oil, 40 parts of petrol. You can adjust the handle by pushing this button down here. You can twist it if you want to work sideways with it, and that does that. The on switch is up, like so, off, down there. You've got a primer here, and you need to pump that 6 times before you start it. Obviously on the petrol cap there it does show 40:1, the ratio of mixture. Spark plug down the front here. You've got on this side the air filter, foam one, and you've got your carburetor setting from fully open or choke and then fully closed. Now this one here is weighted very much biased on obviously to the heavy end, so when you're picking it up or carrying it, it's very much weighted to the right hand side as you pick it up with your left hand. So what else can I say about it? It's a simple pull, and as I say, I've used it many times before. We'll go into more about it, actually some physical action with it. This one here, when it's if the temperature is not too bad, it will start after 2 or 3 pulls, and you just got to adjust the choke out or in according to, I guess, the temperature of that day, to get the right power from it. So when you put it, first of all, I usually have it about halfway and it ticks over nicely, but as soon as you start to push the throttle down here, it'll start to stall, so you have to gently squeeze the throttle and gradually warm up the engine a little bit to make sure it doesn't stall. If you do, it starts first time again, and gradually push this one in, the choke in, and eventually about there, which is about 8 millimeters from the end, that's usually enough for it to start revving up nicely. Now the way I use this one here, some people do it different. I don't go gun-ho and rev it full revs and just whack through the grass. I tend to do it in spurts, and I think it saves petrol. It is a bit of a petrol guzzler if you do it that way, and the petrol does last a while, but you know, the actual capacity there, the petrol tank as it were, it's not very that great size, so it doesn't last too long if you really use it hard. So I'm going to fix it up, start it, and then I'm going to give you a few samples of hedge cutting with it briefly. I'm just wearing my trainers and no protective gear at the moment, just to show you this, and just to show you that it is a really good piece of kit, and I recommend it for using in the garden. Cutting hedges is so much quicker than electric. So I'm going to start this from cold. I don't know how it's going to start, how quickly, but we'll give it a go to give you a true picture of how this starts and how I warm it up. So on, prime 6 times, choke about halfway, Okay, so on that particular, it actually started first time, and the choke was just under halfway, and it revved fine, perfectly. Cutting immediately, it would cut grass and whatever immediately, so that's really good. Sometimes it doesn't start like that, you just have to warm it up a bit, depends what the weather's like. So the next clip I'm going to do is to actually start it again and then cut some grass and a few bits and bobs, just to give you the feel of how quickly it does it and how efficiently. Okay, so let's fire it up and give you a sample of some cutting. So there we have it. That's through grass. It equally cuts through laurels and quite thick foliage, you know, 10-15 mil thick easily. So I recommend it. It's a really piece of kit.